Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Raza Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. It's got this quick head in there, I just want to read real quick. So I've been saying this lately on the BRICS business Twitter feed. It says BRICS, De-Dollarization is unstoppable. And that's right, man, because we're coming to the time where America, the scepter of the wicked is being broken, man. The borders of wickedness in modern day Bosra, Egypt, all these ancient kingdoms of old, wicked kingdoms of old, are all conceptually being conglomerated together to make Babylon the Great, which is aka America today, which is spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, and is getting ready to go into perdition, pursuant to Revelations the 17th chapter, around the 8th verse. The 8th head that came up out of the 7, 5 that are fallen, going into German major, German minor, the English, the French, the Spanish, and then you had Rome, Great Britain, and who else? You had another one, the Greeks. And then America came out of where? Great Britain, which is the 8th head that came up out of the 7, which is getting ready to go into perdition. And this is a sign of that because, America, which once was the, world renowned currency of the, global elite, the world reserve currency of the earth. Now, these nations, especially these BRIC nations and counterparts like China, want to step away. The UAE, the Arab nations as well, Iran, Ethiopia, they're trying to step away from the use of the American dollar. And that's part of the big de-dollarization that's going on globally. It says, whether you like it or not, the de-dollarization agenda kick-started by the BRICS, which is really, headed by Russia, which are known as the Medes, or Gog and Magog in the scriptures. This alliance is here to stay. And it is here to stay for now, before, all hell breaks loose and the nuclear missiles get shot off. And basically World War III ensues, the war to end all wars. Because this war that's going to take place upon the earth is going to be very volatile. It's going to be nuclear. It's going to be very much more devastating and destructive than any known war that's ever happened on the face of the earth. When you used to use conventional weapons, now they got nuclear weapons. You had atomic weapons, but now everything's gone nuclear. And it's that much more powerful and much more, destructive. That's why they say this is the war to end all wars. If World War III was to take place, which it will take place very soon. Even your guy, DJ Trump, made the statement saying that, there's prophets out there, mentioned it on the Joe Rogan podcast, that there's prophets out there that say World War III is going to happen in the Middle East, which he's right, because it is going to happen in the Middle East, pursuant to prophecy, man. Joel, the 2nd chapter, various scriptures, Revelations, the 18th chapter, Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, which I'm going to read part of, that World War III is on his way. So, this is, exciting time, so to speak. Ezekiel 28 and verse 16 says, by the multitude of thy merchandise, which is going into that American system, that way of life, it says they have filled the midst of thee with violence. Yeah, that's how America got their power over the whole earth, the known earth, through colonization, impoverishing the nations, putting them under extreme debt with the American dollar system, the petrol dollar, the IMF banks and so on and so forth. The wicked elite filled the world with multitude of merchandise by doing that, but by way of violence, because their blessing was of the sword. It says, and thou hast sinned. It says, therefore, and the blessing of the sword goes to the Edomites, which are so-called white people. It says, therefore I will cast thee as a profane out of the mountain of the Most High, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of the fire. Yeah, because the Heavenly Father is the one that set up these devils to rule in the earth, these so-called white people. starting with the wicked elite. But the wisdom that they've obtained, they've corrupted themselves with it. They've abused the power. It's like they've abused the power that was given to them, and they've mismanaged the earth. So now the Lord's about to relinquish that power that He gave them and that blessing of the sword. You know, their time is running short. That's why they're going to come down with great wrath in these last days, knowing that they have but short time to accomplish what their new world order. Verse 17 says, "Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty." It says, thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. Yeah, that goes to the so-called illuminated ones. They call themselves the Illuminati, holders of the light. But they've corrupted themselves with that wisdom that the Lord gave them. They've used it to pursue evil and push wickedness throughout the four winds of the earth. But just like it tells you in Job, the 5th chapter, the Lord said He's going to put out the light of the wicked, which is talking about the illuminated ones, so-called oligarchs of society, the 1%, the deep state, shadow government, whatever you want to call them, the globalists, like your man Alex Jones called them, the wicked elite, basically, the council of iniquity, like it tells you in Psalms 64th chapter. The Lord's going to, basically dim their lights, basically, and cast them out. It says, I will cast thee to the ground. Yeah, it's going to humble them. I will lay thee before kings, the other nations, that they may behold thee. Yeah, so the other nations are going to see the fall and they've seen the rise of the wicked elite and their so-called American society, and they're about to see the demise of the society also. It says, thou hast defiled thy sanctuary by the multitude of thine iniquities. Yeah, that's how they defiled this whole system with that corrupt American dollar, petrodollar. It says, and the philosophies. It says, by the iniquity of thy traffic, which goes into their merchandise. And all their merchandise right now has been made by who? The Chinese. So everyone's witnessing the fall of this wicked ass empire, man. It says, therefore, I will bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, which is what? That nuclear fire. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. Yes, so this is going to in turn end up basically into a nuclear war. Because just like the main other two wars, there was wars over basically economics and resources. Basically, when you check out the backstory of World War One and World War Two, and World War Three is not doesn't look like it's going to be any different. It's going to be a fight for a power struggle between all these different major nations: Russia, China, and America, so on and so forth. Iran, for economic power and just power in general. It's going to be a power struggle, and it's ultimately going to end in World War Three. And Israel's going to get blown to hell and back as well, because those small gutter rats over there, the Jays, are running rampant in the Lord's land, causing nothing but mayhem on the earth, especially in the Middle East. So it says, verse 19, it says, all they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee, because everyone's going to witness the demise, the destruction, by way of the World Wide Web, live streams. It says, thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. Yes, this is coming to the end of this American Edomite society. So this is beautiful. Prophecy is playing out. So this is a good thing that we're seeing these BRIC nations and so on and so forth. Because like the scripture says, Satan be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? You got Russian Edomites fighting against, other European Edomites and American Edomites, man. So this is all that, contention that's going to brew into that world war over there in the Middle East. It says, Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon hath been a golden cup, which Babylon represents who today? America, have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Yeah, because they used to be at the top of the mountain, basically. They used to be, the big big bad wolf, so to speak, of the earth, telling other nations what to do, how to run their country, so on and so forth. And they was more stout than their fellows, as it tells you in Daniel's, being more, proud and boastful. And that's because of that pride. You know, it says Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. It says that made all the earth drunken by way of his wicked philosophies. You know, the demonocracy they call democracy and all that. It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, because all these nations that was involved in bed with America, that's why America is known as a harlot, because she's had many lovers, and everyone's had a piece of that American, you know, AWS, so to speak. You know, and it's all put. It's basically all been. They've all been put into, you know, further debt and more tribulation because of America, man. You know, because of their corrupt financial system, man. You know, so it was a setup from the beginning. But the nations are drunken over wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yes, and now they don't want to deal with America no more. That's why you got these BRIC counterparts and all these different nations trying to get into the BRICS. Now, you know, I think there's like 30 other members that are trying to join them at the moment. You know, and they just added 5 more earlier in this year. So, you know, there's that divide and separation. So America's on its way out. It's not going to be healed, like it tells you in the 9th verse. America's going to be destroyed by way of nuclear missiles, you know, ICBM missiles in particular. So Revelation 6:17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which the 10 horns represents who? The EU nations, European counterparts. It says that I saw upon the beast, which represents the NATO, and America's that whore. It says, thee shall hate the whore. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So all these nations, man, even America's so-called allies are going to turn up against them, man. You know, everyone's going to see that America is the main problem, plague on, you know, of this earth that needs to be eradicated, you know, and Israel too, but mainly America. And they're all going to shoot and aim their missiles, you know, the ICBMs, all, directly at America. Like it tells you in Joel, the 2nd chapter, Isaiah, the 13th chapter, and they're going to shoot those arrows, you know, that glittering sword on that heifer, that harlot, and burn that bitch to asunder, man. You know, burn that bitch alive, basically. So that's why America's going to be known as the Lake of Fire, because literally it's going to be imploded with nothing but, you know, nuclear missiles, you know, by way of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the weapons of his indignation. And then the Lord's going to add more fire by way of the chariots, what the white man calls UFOs, you know, with the laser beams. So this is the, you know, precursor to the destruction of the American dollar and America in general. The BRICS, De-Dollarization is unstoppable. Just like World War III is unstoppable, man. And America's gonna be soon taken out. Arboratazar, this time next year, this place will be on, you know, seen as a lake of fire and a desert. You know, that's gonna be you know, upon this cursed land known as America, Babylon the Great. So anyway, with that, I want to close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Hashem, Rachakodash, and shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.